Hi there. Wow, we're going back a long ways in today's memory. It's an inspirational story, too. That's why I'm wearing this colored shirt. Anyways, we're going back to 1971. June, a matter of fact. And I'm 5 years old. I knew how to read, but I couldn't talk. It wasn't that I didn't want to. I really couldn't talk. Could make sounds though. Well, June came along. School's going to be starting in September, and for me to be able to start school, go to kindergarten, I need to be able to talk. So Mom starts sending me across the street every day to where this young couple, in their early to mid 20s, Bill and Leona Lewis, were living with their daughter, who was a year younger than me. Anyways, she sent me over there to ask for 3 eggs every morning. The 3 eggs were breakfast for her, me, and Tim. Ernie, Joy, and May were, of course, in school. Well, if I got the eggs, we got eggs for breakfast, and if I didn't, we got cereal, porridge. Anyways, if Bill answered the door, I didn't generally get the eggs, because I could just make sounds. Well, I was trying, I just wasn't pronouncing them, and he wouldn't give them to me. He'd say, if you can't tell me what you want, Chris, I can't help you. Sorry. Come back later when you know what it is you want. And I'd go home crying. But if Leona answered the door, I'd try a few times, and then she'd just give me the eggs. Soft touch that lady had. No, wait a minute. I think that's all the ladies back when I was that age. Anyways, this goes on for weeks. And this I found out years later. It wasn't just so that I could go to school that Mom was trying to get me speaking. The Ministry of whatever it was back then, nowadays they call it Child and Family Services, was going to take me away from her because I wasn't talking. And they'd given her to the end of June to get me speaking. With a week to go. And I know this because I saw the date. I saw a file recently. Anyways, Bill spent a whole day with me. Sound it out, Chris. You can do it. And each time I got it right, he gave me a quarter. Didn't matter about the money. Remember, I didn't have a dad either, so this fellow spending some time with me was pretty impressive. The next day, I go over to their house. Mom sends me over, and Bill answers the door. Now, he made me promise that I wouldn't tell anybody. And I hadn't, so Bill answers the door, and I said, as loud as possible, "Sir, may I have 3 eggs, please?" As plain as could be. Leona came running out of the back room, screaming, "Did I just hear what I thought I heard?" with tears streaking down out of her eyes. And Bill said, "Sure did," and boosted me up on his shoulders. I do remember that. And we walked across the street. And Mom was like, "What's going on?" And Bill said to me, "Tell Mom what you asked me for." So I told her, and she started crying. 23rd of June, 1971. She phoned up that ministry office and said, "My son can speak. Leave us alone." Yeah, it was thanks to Bill and Leona and their patience, and Bill especially that day, working with me so I could say those words. 3 eggs, please. You know, since then, many people have told me I should shut up. Others have told me to speak up. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm speaking up to say thank you to people from my past. Bill lives on Vancouver Island, as does that young daughter of theirs that isn't so young anymore. You're younger than me. She lives there on Vancouver Island too. Her mom, like my mom, is up there, looking down at us, probably laughing at us at times. I've gone on to give a lot of speeches and talk up for a lot of people. But if Bill and Leona hadn't taken that time back then with me, who knows? I could have been shipped off to some home, some institution, and never gotten the chance to speak. So if you get a chance to help somebody out, even if aren't sure of what the ramifications down the road could be, why don't you do it? As long as there's no harm to you to do so. That's the key. Don't do things for others if it's going to lead to harm for yourself. And don't look for a reward, because you'll never know whether or not you actually helped somebody. Well, that isn't always the case. Bill and Leona, they knew what they'd done. And I keep trying to pass it on. Help out others. I ain't done talking. That's right, I got lots to say. There was a time I couldn't speak, and now you can't shut me up.